Tuesdays with Morrie, an old man, a young man, a life's greatest lesson. The Audiovisual Part 2. The Nightline show had done a follow-up story on Morrie, partly because the reception for the first show had been so strong. This time when the cameramen and producers came through the door, they already felt like family, and Coppell himself was noticeably warmer. There was no feeling out process, no interview before the interview. As warm-up, Coppell and Morrie exchanged stories about their childhood backgrounds. Coppell spoke about growing up in England, and Morrie spoke about growing up in the Bronx. Morrie wore a long-sleeved blue shirt, and he was almost always chilly, even when it was 90 degrees outside. But Coppell removed his jacket and did the interview in shirt and tie. It was as if Morrie were breaking him down, one layer at a time. "You look fine," Coppell said, when the tape began to roll. "That's what everybody says, everybody tells me," Morrie said. "You sound fine." "That's what everybody tells me." "So how do you know things are going downhill?" Morrie sighed. "Nobody can know it but me, Ted. I know it." And as he spoke, it became obvious. He was not waving his hands to make a point as freely as he had in their first conversation. He had trouble pronouncing certain words. The L sound seemed to get caught into his throat. In a few more months, he might no longer speak at all. "Here's how my emotions go," Morrie told Coppell. "When I have people and friends here, I am very up. The loving relationships maintain me. But there are days when I am depressed. Let me not deceive you. I see certain things going and I feel a sense of dread. What am I going to do without my hands? What happens when I can't speak? Swallowing, I don't care so much about, so they feed me through a tube, so what? But my voice, my hands, they're such an essential part of me. I talk with my voice, I gesture with my hands. This is how I give to people." "How will you give to people when you can no longer speak?" Coppell asked. Morrie shrugged. "Maybe I'll have everyone ask me yes or no questions." It was such a simple answer that Coppell had to smile. He had to ask Morrie about silence. He mentioned a dear friend Morrie had, Morrie Stein, who had first sent Morrie's aphorisms to the Boston Globe. They had been together at Brandeis since the early 60s. Now Stein was going deaf. Coppell imagined the two men together, one unable to speak and another unable to hear. What would that be like? "We will hold hands," Morrie said, "and there'll be a lot of love passing between us. Ted, we've had 35 years of friendship. You don't need speech or hearing to feel that." Before the show ended, Morrie read Coppell one of the letters he'd received. Since the first Nightline program, there had been a great deal of mail. One particular letter came from a school teacher in Pennsylvania who taught a special class of 9 children. Every child in the class had suffered the death of a parent. "Here's what I sent back," Morrie told Coppell, perching his glasses gingerly on his nose and ears. "Dear Barbara," perching is resting his glasses, so resting his glasses gingerly on his nose and ears. "Dear Barbara, I was very moved by your letter, and I feel the work you have done with the children who have lost a parent is very important. I also lost a parent at an early age." Suddenly, with the camera still humming, Morrie adjusted the glasses. He stopped, bit his lip, began to choke up. Tears fell down his nose. "I lost my mother when I was a child, and it was quite a blow to me. I wish I'd had a group like yours where I would have been able to talk about my sorrows. I would have joined your group because," his voice cracked, "because I was so lonely." "Morrie," Coppell said, "that was 70 years ago your mother died." "The pain still goes on?" "You bet," Morrie whispered.